Husky Game Prep is brought to you by Gate City Bank, proud supporter of your Huskies. Stop by and ask us about our low interest rates to finally buy that new snowmobile or ice house you've been waiting for. Contact any of our 43 locations across North Dakota and central Minnesota, and of course around the St. Cloud area. Gate City Bank, for a better way of life. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey Huskies fans, welcome into another episode of Huskies Game Prep, brought to you by Gate City Bank. Sam Getzinger here with you, and again, we're joined alongside a very special guest, Mick Hatten from therinklive.com. Mick, thank you for joining us as we get ready for Minnesota State and St. Cloud State coming up here in the Frozen Four. I want to ask you what your biggest takeaways were from the Northeast Regional for St. Cloud State before we dive deeper into this upcoming matchup.
Well, I think, there's several things I guess you take away. One, I think St. Cloud State played, its two best games of the season. I thought from, start to end in both of those games that they played on top of their game. That's a great sign for St. Cloud State as they're getting ready for the Frozen Four. I mean, they have that to kind of build off of. They got behind in both those games, and yet they rallied beyond that and were able to find ways to beat two really good hockey teams, really talented hockey teams. They proved that, during the season. I think we talked about this, before the Frozen, before the regional actually. They played, right with North Dakota and UMD all season long. Two of the great teams in the NCHC. And they proved that all that time, in the regular season and in the playoffs, was not fooling our eyes. I mean, this is a really good St. Cloud State team, and a lot of good things that they can take away from it. I thought they were really good defensively. They did not allow either of those teams to do a lot of things offensively, and that was something that I think was a little bit of a question mark, I think, going in. But they found ways to win two games and in two different ways.
And of course, a lot of that success in the Northeast Regional for St. Cloud State came at the hands of David Renick. What made his play so great?
I thought David, was dialed in, from like the first save on in both of those games. David is one of those guys that I have watched him play enough, I guess, over the last 4 seasons that I can tell when he's on top of his game, and David was really on top of his game, throughout both of those games. I think that was the impressive thing. When he gave up goals, he didn't let it steamroll on him. He didn't let things snowball on him at all, and that's a really good sign for David. He played with a lot of confidence. I saw him handle the puck more in those two games than I think I've seen him play, maybe all year or maybe all 4 of his years combined. I was joking with him. I spoke with him earlier this week, and I was joking with him that it sure looked like he was shooting for an empty net against Boston College, and he said, "Yeah, I was." And then he complained that he didn't get the puck up high enough, and then he didn't get it up high enough on a few of the clears that he tried on some penalty kills as well. But actually, I'm writing a story here on David that people can find on our website. Really cool thing about David. On David's mask this season, you can see all the names of all of his teammates from the past 4 seasons. And I think that says a lot about the type of person that David is and what this program means to him.
Now, Mick, let's look ahead here as we get ready for the Frozen Four coming up in a little bit. We have Minnesota State taking on St. Cloud State in the first game of the Frozen Four. What should we expect?
Well, it's a team that they saw last season, and arguably, Mankato may have had its best team in the history of their Division I program last season. And unfortunately for the Mavericks, the pandemic, cut out the NCAA tournament last season. A lot of people thought that was their year to win the tournament. But, Dryden McKay is a top 3 finalist for the Hobie Baker Award. He's their goalie. He's as good a goalie as there is in the country. So they're going to have to find a way, much like they did against Spencer Knight. You don't want to get behind against Mankato. 18-0 when they score their first goal, 11-0 when they lead after 1 period, 19-0 when they lead after 2 periods. So I'm not sure that they want to play comeback hockey against the Mavericks. Mike Hastings, former St. Cloud State player and assistant coach, is their head coach. They're very disciplined. A team that's going to play heavy defensively. They're going to want to try and keep the puck away from St. Cloud State. It's going to be a real interesting kind of chess match between these two teams. Mankato's a little bit like St. Cloud in this respect. 9 seniors on their team. They got 12 or 13 guys who have 10 or more points, so there's a lot of balance in their lineup. They're really good on special teams, 25% on the power play, 85% on the penalty kill. A lot of similarities between St. Cloud and Mankato. It's going to be interesting to see how this all kind of plays out. Mankato's never been to the Frozen Four, and none of the players for St. Cloud State have been to the Frozen Four. The only guys with some Frozen Four experience are behind the bench in Brett Larson and Nick Oliver. So we'll see how that goes.
Hey, Mick, thank you so much for taking some time today. Always a pleasure to have you here on Husky Game Prep.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Once again, Mick Hatten from therinklive.com. Huskies fans, we want to remind you, you can catch Husky Face-Off 30 minutes before puck drop in Pittsburgh on UTVS Charter Channel 180 or on the SCSU Athletics page. And remember, go Huskies.